So let me be honest. This is as much a wish list as it is a predictions video. So you have Nintendo riding high off the success of the Switch. It sold way more than expected and it continues to sell, and people are generally excited about the system. And to follow up Zelda, you have got games like Mario Kart 8, a handful of really awesome digital titles. Then you've got Splatoon 2, ARMS this summer, a lot of excitement and hype, and then obviously you've got the announcement that Mario Odyssey is finishing off the year. But you still got a lot of gaps in the schedule, and I think that's what Nintendo's going to focus in on with this year's E3 Nintendo Direct, or whatever they end up calling it. So like I said, wish list, predictions video, you name it, let me know what you think in the comments below. So Nintendo's going to kick this off and finally talk about the Virtual Console. I think they're only going to start with like NES and SNES games, but continue to add systems and games over time. They did say that they're going to be enhancing some of these games as a part of their like Nintendo Online system back with the original announcement, and with more information that's come out this past week about that system and the changes they've already made within it, I'm wondering if the Virtual Console is going to also support the same online connected functionality that their online service games are, supposedly reported to have. I would assume that it would be the same, but we don't know if these are going to be two completely different systems. Hopefully Nintendo's going to answer that question this year at E3. So Mario. Can't go wrong with Mario. I think we're going to see obviously a lot of talk and gameplay with Mario Odyssey. That's going to be a big highlight of the show. I think they're going to probably start with that because they've got hopefully a couple of really exciting announcements that they're going to make later on in the show. But with that, I think we're also going to see the announcement that Mario Maker is going to be making its way to the Switch. I've never had a chance to play it. I know that it was really exciting on the Wii U, and then they eventually brought it to the 3DS. So it seems like a natural fit to make its way to the Switch, and hopefully I'm right, because I would love to check out this game. The biggest of all hopes, Smash Bros. Confirmed for the Switch. I would say Super Smash Bros. Deluxe, almost kind of like the Mario Kart 8 treatment, with all the DLC bundled and packaged in, and releasing this year. That would be the dream. And if in the off chance I'm right and that happens, I'm wondering if they're going to continue to support the Smash Bros. Game on the Switch, like by adding new DLC. Obviously there is a market for it, obviously there's a lot of hype for it, but I'd love to know what you think. If they don't go with an enhanced version of Smash Bros., it would be great to see if they had GameCube games in the Virtual Console, so that way they could bring in like Smash Melee and some of the classic games that would and could fill that gap until said time that they decide to release a brand new Smash Brothers. But the last one I hear is so good, so many people didn't have the opportunity to get it, and this could propel it to just unimaginary numbers. It's like this year alone. I think it's important, that they'll take some time to actually talk about maybe some apps that are coming to the device. We still don't have a Netflix, a Hulu native app on the Switch, or a browser app. I think that with the success of the system, that we could see those make their way here. I think obviously the reason why they weren't there is they're like, well, your last system didn't do so well. Why are we going to invest in making an app and not having it being very successful on the platform? I think this is very natural for app developers to hold off and wait to see how well the system was received. That all being said, I suspect that we'll see Netflix and Hulu on the platform pretty soon. I think Nintendo's going to go into more details about its online service. Recently they announced pretty much it's going to be like Netflix for video games as a part of their library, and that's kind of what a lot of us were hoping it would be. And the price seems very reasonable. At $20 a year, you really can't go wrong, especially if you have access to a vast variety of games. Now, whether that's directly related with a Virtual Console, whether that also gives you the discounts to purchase those games, we really don't know how that's going to play out, and so hopefully they're going to really show us how that's going to play out here at E3. And lastly, I guess the biggest hope and announcement that we have been waiting to see, something they never done before, was announced that Pokemon Stars is a real game coming to Switch. It's a full-blown Pokemon game, I would assume based off of the Sun and Moon games that have just recently come out for 3DS. I think doing so would really cement their commitment to Switch, their commitment to the portable console nature, that people have wanted a full-blown Pokemon game on a console for a long time, and that's what the Switch is. It's portable, it's a console, it's both. So hopefully they get to take this time and really kind of, blow the roof off with this announcement, show some gameplay footage of Pokemon Stars, and a release date which would obviously coincide with this year. Thus sticking with what, was rumored last year, that Zelda, Pokemon, and Mario would all make its way to the Switch in its first 6 months of life, so to say. So all that being said, this would be the ultimate Nintendo machine for a fallen away Nintendo fan. You know, like I said, I really have not been playing many Nintendo games, especially over the last 2 console generations. Yes, I've had my 3DS, and that's been at least a good stopgap, but even when playing the 3DS, sometimes I'm like, man, I would just love to play with a controller, lay on the couch, and enjoy the game. And I have that ability now, and it's fantastic. So that is my hopes, wish list, predictions for the system itself. Like I said, third party is going to start making its way back to the platform. As part of that, we're not going to necessarily see so much gameplay footage from third party, but we're going to start having that conversation and probably see a lot of game announcements. Again, Nintendo's riding high off of its success. I suspect they are going to fully capitalize on that and hopefully have a really good show for everybody. Most likely they're going to do really good as long as they don't trot out like another Wii Music presentation. I think it's going to be something that we could all really look forward to. But those are just my thoughts, and I'd love to know yours and have that conversation. What do you hope Nintendo brings to the show at this year's E3? It's only like pretty much a week away. Out of my list of hopes and predictions, what do you think is probably the most far-fetched? I don't know. Let's have that conversation and just let me know in the comments below. But anyway, for Work to Game, my name's Brian. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in my next. But until then, I hope you have a fantastic week. And I hope E3 brings you just so much joy and excitement that that you just can't contain yourself and you've got to go tell the world. Anyway, until next time, take care. Sales, oh my goodness. It's like...